What if you could cheat and learn words, phrases, and grammar 2 times faster? You'll learn how to do just that with our exclusive PDF cheat sheets. But first, if you don't yet have access to our language learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. First, so what are cheat sheets? With our learning program, you learn the language with conversation-based lessons that you can just listen to or watch and get everything explained and start speaking those very same dialogues. And as a bonus, you also get PDF cheat sheets as supplementary material for the lessons. These cheat sheets cover must-know topics like weather, your hobbies, daily routine, and much more. There are over 30 cheat sheets inside, and you'll find them inside our program, so they're not available anywhere else. Inside each cheat sheet, you get the words, phrases, and sentence patterns related to the topic that you can quickly review whenever you have a minute or two. So that's how the cheat sheets work. Now, how can you learn faster with these cheat sheets? Just download a cheat sheet, print it, keep it nearby, and glance through as much as possible. Not for hours a day, but just a few minutes throughout the day. It's as simple as that. If you can follow these simple steps and do this daily, you'll actually learn faster. Faster than if you were to sit down and memorize for hours a day. You'll know all of the words and phrases in and out, simply because you've seen them enough times. Language learning is all about repeated exposure. The more you're exposed to the language, the better you'll remember it. And the cheat sheets give you that quick exposure to the words, phrases, and grammar patterns. You can always save the PDFs to your device, but having physical cheat sheets will speed up your progress. It's just easier to pick one up and glance through. Plus, you can write on them for extra practice. Otherwise, if you keep the PDFs on your device, chances are you'll barely use them and forget about them. How can you get access to our PDF cheat sheets? If you're a member, you already have access. If not, just click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get our learning program and these bonus cheat sheets. Once you've signed up and logged in, come back to the special PDF lessons page. The PDFs will now be available for instant download, and that's it. So, if you want to learn the language and get access to these learning tools and our learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. This is the sound. This is the sound. And this is the r sound. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to tell them apart. Plus, you'll be practicing them and on your way to perfect pronunciation. I'm Alicia, and this is English pronunciation through minimal pairs. First is This is the sound in sure, tour, poor, and other words. Next is or. This is the sound in for, port, form, and other words. R is the sound in far, part, farm, and other words. All the sounds are R-colored vowels, which means a vowel sound that ends with an R sound. To make the sound, the lips move to a relaxed O position. The teeth are slightly apart, and the tongue moves back in the mouth. The throat is open. The jaw and lower lip move forward slightly and we release the sound. Then move the tongue to the top of the mouth and pull the lips back slightly to make the R sound. Or. 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 To make the or sound, the lips move to a loose O position. The teeth are slightly apart and the tongue moves to the back of the mouth. We release the O sound, then move the tongue to the top of the mouth to make the R sound. or, 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 or. To make the R sound, begin with the teeth and lips apart and tall. The tongue flattens and the throat is open. Release the sound and at the same time, close the teeth slightly, move the lips to an oval shape, and raise the center of the tongue directly up. R. 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 These sounds are quite similar, but the position of the first vowel is different. Ur has the highest position, and R has the lowest position. Listen to the difference and repeat after me. Ur, or, R. 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 Listen and repeat, or speak along with me. Ready? Tour, tour. Tour, tour. Port, part. Port, part. For, far. For, far. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Do you remember the sound with the highest position of the first vowel? Ur. Ur. And the sound with the lowest position of the first vowel? R. R. And the sound with the middle position of the first vowel? Or. Or. Let's practice. Compare the sounds in these two words. Which word has the ur sound and which has the or sound? Tour, tour. Tour, tour. Tour has the ur sound and tor has the or sound. Let's try another. Which word has the r sound and which has the or sound? Port, part. Court has the or sound and part has the r sound. Let's try one more. For, far. For has the or sound and far has the r sound. Now listen to this sentence. Which words have the sound and which words have the or sound? I'm sure we will find shells on the shore. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. I'm sure we will find shells on the shore. Let's try one more. I poured some juice for the poor boy. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. I poured some juice for the poor boy. Let's try another. Which words have the or sound and which words have the r sound? He pushed the cart to the court for the game. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. He pushed the cart to the court for the game. This is the I sound. This is the ow sound. And this is the oi sound. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to tell them apart. Plus, you'll be practicing them and on your way to perfect pronunciation. I'm Alicia, and this is English pronunciation through minimal pairs. First is I. This is the sound in I, time, why, and other words. Next is ow. This is the sound in out, down, now, and other words. Oi is the sound in oil, point, boy, and other words. All the sounds are diphthongs, which means vowel sounds that start with one vowel sound and end with another vowel sound. To make the I sound, the teeth and lips open. The tongue moves to the rear of the mouth, then moves forward in the mouth as the teeth close slightly. I. 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 To make the ow sound, the mouth opens wide and the teeth separate. The lips pull back. The tongue flattens, moves back, and then rolls forward to complete the sound as the mouth moves into an O shape. Ow. 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 To make the oi sound, the teeth separate and the lips make a tight O shape. The tongue moves back in the mouth. Next, the lips pull back, the teeth come together, and the tongue moves forward. Oi. 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 These sounds are quite similar, but I is pronounced with the lips unrounded. When pronouncing ow, the lips move from an unrounded to a rounded position. And during the oi pronunciation, the lips move from a rounded to an unrounded position. Listen to the difference and repeat after me. I, ow, oi. 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 Listen and repeat, or speak along with me. Ready? By, boy. By, boy. By, bow. By, bow. Tie, toy. Tie, toy. Find, found. Find, found. Tire, tower. Tire, tower. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Do you remember the sound that's pronounced with the lips unrounded? I. And the sound that requires the lips moving from an unrounded to a rounded position? Ow. Ow. And the sound that requires the lips moving from a rounded to an unrounded position? Oi. Oi. Let's practice. Compare the sounds in these two words. Which word has the I sound and which has the oi sound? By, boy. By, boy. By has the I sound, and boy has the oi sound. Let's try one more. Tie, toy. tie has the I sound, and toy has the oi sound. Let's try another. Which word has the I sound, and which has the ow sound? Buy, bow. Buy has the I sound, and bow has the ow sound. Let's try one more. Find, found. Find has the I sound, and found has the ow sound. Let's try another. Tire, tower. Tire has the I sound, and tower has the ow sound. Now listen to this sentence. Which words have the I sound, and which words have the ow sound? Hi, how are you? Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. Hi, how are you? Let's try one more. Which words have the I sound, and which words have the oi sound? The lawyer is a liar. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. The lawyer is a liar. Let's try another. She went to buy a gift for the boy. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. She went to buy a gift for the boy. Let's try one more. Which words have the ow sound, and which words have the oi sound? The boy tied a bow around the gift. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. The boy tied a bow around the gift. In this lesson, we'll learn the following sounds used in English: p, b, t, d, k, and g. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to tell them apart. Plus, you'll be practicing them and on your way to perfect pronunciation. I'm Alicia, and this is English pronunciation through minimal pairs. First is p. This is the p sound in pass, sport, cap, and other words. Next is b. This is the b sound in be, number, job, and other words. Next is t. This is the t sound in today, still, get, and other words. Next is d. This is the d sound in dad, indeed, need, and other words. Next is k. This is the k sound in cut, next, like, and other words. The last is g. This is the g sound in go, together, big and other words. All the sounds are plosives, or in other words, stop consonants. This means consonants that are produced by first stopping the airflow with the mouth, followed by a sudden release of air. To make the p sound, the lips press firmly together and curl in slightly. The teeth are apart. Release the lips forward and blow air quickly through the lips. To make the b sound, press your lips firmly together and curl them slightly. The teeth are apart. Release the lips forward and release the sound from the throat. B. 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 To make the t sound, move the front teeth together and part the lips slightly. Place the tip of the tongue against the back of the upper teeth. Release the position as you release a burst of air. T. 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 To make the d sound, the front teeth come together and the tongue touches the back of the upper teeth. The lips are slightly apart. We release the sound and release the tongue from this position as we part our teeth. D. 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 To make the k sound, start with the tongue in a relaxed position. The lips part slightly and the teeth are apart. The back of the tongue moves up and the tip of the tongue stays relaxed. Air is released at the top position. K. 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 To make the g sound, the lips and teeth move apart slightly. The back of the tongue raises to the rear of the mouth. We make the sound as we release the tongue from this position. G. 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 P. B. T. D. And K. G. Form pairs where P, T, K are voiceless sounds and B, D, G are voiced sounds. Listen to the difference and repeat after me. P, B, T, D, K, G. B, T, D, K, G. P, B, T, D, K, G. B, T, D, K, G. P, B, T, D, K, G. B, T, D, K, G. Listen and repeat, or speak along with me. Ready? Pack, back. Pack, back. Rapid, rabid. Rapid, rabid. Cap, cab. Cap, cab. Tear, deer. Tear, deer. Cart, card. Cart, card. Class, glass. Class, glass. Coat, goat. Coat, goat. Pick, pig. Pick, pig. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Do you remember the voiceless sounds? P, T, K. P, T, K. And the voiced sounds? B, D, G. B, D, G. Let's practice. Compare the sounds in these two words. Which word has the voiced sound and which has the unvoiced sound? Pack, back, pack, back. Back has the voiced b sound and pack has the unvoiced p sound. Let's try one more. Rapid, rabid. Rabid has the voiced b sound and rapid has the unvoiced p sound. Let's try another. Cap, cab. Cab has the voiced b sound and cap has the unvoiced p sound. Let's try one more. Which word has the voiced sound and which has the unvoiced sound? Tear, deer. Deer has the voiced d sound and tear has the unvoiced t sound. Let's try another. Cart, card. Card has the voiced d sound and cart has the unvoiced t sound. Let's try one more. Which word has the voiced sound and which has the unvoiced sound? Class, glass. Glass has the voiced g sound and class has the unvoiced k sound. Let's try another. Coat, goat. Goat has the voiced g sound and coat has the unvoiced k sound. Let's try one more. Which word has the voiced sound and which has the unvoiced sound? Pick, pig. Pig has the voiced g sound and pick has the unvoiced k sound. Now listen to this sentence. Which words have the voiced b sound and which have the unvoiced p sound? Pete, could you beat the eggs? Now, try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. Pete, could you beat the eggs? Let's try one more. She packed her bag and headed back home. Now, try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. She packed her bag and headed back home. Let's try another. Which words have the voiced d sound and which have the unvoiced t sound? She left her credit card in the shopping cart. Now, try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. She left her credit card in the shopping cart. Let's try one more. The deer's tear dropped from her eye. Now, try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. The deer's tear dropped from her eye. Let's try another. Which words have the voiced g sound and which have the unvoiced k sound? The goat chewed on the coat. Now, try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. The goat chewed on the coat. Let's try one more. The dog ran excitedly to the dock. Now, try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. The dog ran excitedly to the dock. This is the sound. This is the sound. And this is the sound. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to tell them apart. Plus, you'll be practicing them and on your way to perfect pronunciation. I'm Alicia, and this is English pronunciation through minimal pairs. First is This is the sound in make, woman, same, and other words. Next is This is the sound in know, another, when, and other words. The last is This is the sound in sing, think, evening, and other words. All the sounds are nasal, which means they're produced in the nose. To make the sound, the lips are firmly together and curled slightly inward. Release the sound from this position. Mm. To make the sound, the lips and teeth move slightly apart. The tip of the tongue touches the top of the mouth near the upper teeth. Release the sound from this position. Mm. 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 To make the sound, part the lips and the teeth. Move the back of the tongue to the top of the back of the mouth and release the sound. Mm. 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 Sounds differ in the place of articulation. Is a bilabial sound. Is an alveolar sound. And is a velar sound. Listen to the difference and repeat after me. Mm. 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 Listen and repeat, or speak along with me. Ready? Male, nail. Male, nail. Nap, nap. Map, nap. Gum, gun. Gum, gun. Fin, fing. Fin, fing. Win, wing. Win, wing. Swim, swing. Swim, swing. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Do you remember the bilabial sound? And the alveolar sound? And the velar sound? Let's practice. Compare the sounds in these two words. Which word has the bilabial sound and which word has the alveolar sound? Male, nail. Male, nail. Male has the bilabial sound, and nail has the alveolar sound. Let's try one more. Map, nap. Map, nap. Map has the bilabial sound, and nap has the alveolar sound. Let's try another. Gum, gun. Gum, gun. Gum has the bilabial sound, and gun has the alveolar sound. Let's try one more. Which word has the alveolar sound and which has the velar sound? Fin, thing. Fin, thing. Fin has the alveolar sound, and thing has the velar sound. Let's try another. Win, wing. Win, wing. Win has the alveolar sound, and wing has the velar sound. Let's try one more. Swim, swing. Swim, swing. Swim has the bilabial sound, and swing has the velar sound. Now listen to this sentence. Which words have the alveolar sound, and which have the velar sound? She ran to the door as the phone rang loudly. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. She ran to the door as the phone rang loudly. Let's try one more. The bird won't win with its broken wing. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. The bird won't win with its broken wing. Let's try another. Which words have the bilabial sound and which have the alveolar sound? He found a nail in the mail. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. He found a nail in the mail. Let's try one more. My knee hurt, so she helped me. Now try to read the sentence out loud, focusing on the different sounds. My knee hurt, so she helped me. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 common mistakes that English learners make. For this lesson, I have chosen 10 very common mistakes that are grammar focused, and we're going to talk about what they are and how to fix them. Let's get started. Okay, the first mistake I want to talk about is forgetting the ends of contractions. Forgetting the ends of contractions. A contraction is two words together, like for example, I am becomes I'm, or he will becomes he'll, for example. So the mistake that I mean here is that learners sometimes forget to pronounce and to write the ends of these contractions. So oftentimes in text, I will see instead of I'm, I see just I. Or instead of I'll, I see I. Or with other examples, for example, instead of he's, I see he's. Or there becomes they. So don't forget these end parts of your contractions. And also make sure to pronounce these clearly when you're speaking. Native speakers do say these just very, very quickly, like, I'm happy to see you. There's still an M sound in that I'm. So make sure that you don't forget the ends of these contractions. This is a very common mistake. Okay, mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 is using will for all future tense situations instead of using going to or the progressive form of a verb. I think this mistake happens because the will future tense sentence pattern is very easy for many people to remember. And so people tend to use the one that's easiest and shortest, but that doesn't mean it's always correct. Yes, there are some times when you should use will, when it's very natural to use will, but you shouldn't use will in every single future tense example sentence. Let's take a look. Let's compare these. Here, will you come to class tomorrow? This sentence sounds unnatural. This sentence uses will. The reason this sounds unnatural is because the person is asking a question about tomorrow's plans, the other person's plans for tomorrow. We don't usually use will when we're talking about someone's determined plan, something they've already decided. Instead, this is an example of a situation where we should use going to, or we're using the progressive form. For example, are you going to come to class tomorrow? Or are you coming to class tomorrow? These sound much more natural because these grammar choices show that we recognize it's some plan the other person made already. So remember this, we shouldn't use will unless we're talking about a decision we made in the moment or maybe a decision we're not sure about. Using these 2 grammar points shows that we're sure about the decision. It's already been decided. I have a video about this topic, will and going to, on the channel, so you can take a look at that for more information. Okay, let's go to the third point. The third point is using the wrong adjective forms. What I mean by this is mixing up the ed and the ing forms of adjectives. So we use the ed forms of adjectives when we're talking about our emotions and our feelings. So we use them when we're talking about ourselves, people, right?
We use these ing ending adjectives when we're providing a description of something else. So, because there are two forms of these adjectives, these sometimes get mixed up. So, let's look at an example. Sometimes I hear, I'm exciting. I'm exciting when someone is looking forward to something. This is incorrect. This ing adjective use is incorrect. It should be, I'm excited. I'm excited. So the ed ending is used for our emotions, our feelings with people. Here's another example, the opposite problem. The movie was interested. The movie was interested. This is incorrect. Again, we use these ed ending adjectives when we're talking about emotions and feelings. This is a movie, right? So it should be interesting. The movie was interesting. We're using this adjective because we're describing something outside of us. So this is another very common mistake that I make, mixing up the ed ending and ing ending adjectives. Okay, another very common one, number 4 here, forgetting S at the end of conjugated present tense verbs, forgetting the S. By this, I mean forgetting to write it, of course, to write the S ending, and forgetting to pronounce it in speech as well. What does this look like? For example, he go to school. He go to school. This sentence should be, he goes to school. He goes to school every day. The mistake I see is learners forget this S sound in speech, and they forget to write the S or the ES as appropriate ending in their homework. So not he go to school, but he goes to school. Another example uses she. So remember, we use this pattern with he, she, and it subjects. She eat lunch. She eat lunch. This is incorrect. We have to change this verb because of the subject of the sentence. She eats lunch. She eats lunch. So again, this is an issue in pronunciation and in written English as well. So don't forget that little S sound. It's very important. Okay, let's go to number 5. Number 5 is a word order problem. So the problem here is using I should instead of should I when you're making help and offer questions. So this kind of pattern looks like this mistake pattern I see. For example, I should come. I should come. When the correct sentence or the correct question would be, should I come? Should I come? So when you're making an offer like that, you're making an offer like to help someone or to do something for someone, use this should I? Should I? So should I come? Here's one more example. I should help. Should be, should I help? So this is a very common word order issue that I see. Sometimes I see this here and there with other modal verbs, like I see it sometimes with could and with would as well. So you may also consider it the same issue for those words too, should, could, and would. But this is the one that I see the most often. Okay, let's move along to number 6. Mistake number 6, forgetting to before destinations or using in instead. So this is a preposition point. Another issue relating to this, another problem, is using to before there. So let's look at what I mean. Here's an example of a very common error. I have been in France. I have been in France. This preposition choice is incorrect. I have been to France. We use to before the destinations of our travels. I have been to France. Here's another example, what I mean before there. I have been to there is incorrect. We use to before our destination, our specific destination. There does not mark a specific destination. It refers to a place we mentioned before, but unless you use the title of the country, unless you use the title of the city, the name of the city, whatever it is, you can't use this pattern. You cannot say, I have been to there. You can say, I have been to city, I have been to country, I have been to state, great. But you can't say, I have been to there. So this is another very common one that I see. Sometimes people forget the preposition, or sometimes people just use in place of to. So don't forget this one. To comes before your travel destination. Okay, on to the next one, number 7. The next one is adding didn't before a past tense verb. Adding didn't before a past tense verb. So let's look at some examples and break down what the problem is here. Here's one, a common example. I didn't eat. I didn't eat. This person is trying to make a simple past tense sentence. But the problem is that we don't need to change both parts here. So, I didn't eat should be I didn't eat. I didn't eat. So when we make these past tense, in this case a negative past tense sentence, we don't need to change the root verb. This is the part, I did not eat. This is the part that we change. We do not need to change both didn't and use the past tense form of the verb. Sometimes I see people using both changes in their sentences, and this is incorrect. Let's look at another example. She didn't worked. She didn't worked. Same problem. This verb is in past tense, but this part is already telling us the past tense grammar. We don't need this part here. The correct sentence is she didn't work. She didn't work. So pay attention to this when you're making those past tense sentences, yeah? So she worked is fine for a positive past tense sentence, but in these negatives, she didn't worked is incorrect. So try to keep this in mind. Okay, let's move along to number 8. Number 8. Number 8 is using maybe when might is appropriate. I think that learners tend to use maybe a lot because they feel that there are a lot of different positions, sentence positions, where it feels okay to use maybe. And since maybe is a pretty easy word to understand, a lot of people tend to think they can get away with just putting it in any place. But there are some places where it's natural to use it, like as a response to a question, but there are also some places where it feels less natural to use it. So let's take a look at some examples. Here's one. I'll maybe go. I'll maybe go. So this is an example of a situation that generally doesn't present a communication problem. We can understand, no problem, what this person is saying. But this sounds very unnatural. I'll maybe go. We would probably say, I might go here. This sounds much more natural as a response to a question, for example. Like this one. Are you going to come to class tomorrow? I might go. This sounds much more natural than I'll maybe go. We generally don't use them in this way. Here's another one. He will maybe come. He will maybe come. We would probably say, he might come instead. He might come, or perhaps he may come if you want to sound a little bit more polite. So yes, it's true that we use will in situations where we're not sure. But in these cases, we tend to use maybe at the beginning of the sentence, like, maybe I'll have a salad for lunch today. So try to think of this kind of position thing with maybe, like maybe tends to come closer to the beginning of the sentence, like usually at the beginning of the sentence, because we're starting off with that unsure feeling. It sounds quite unnatural to put it here before the verb. I'll maybe go. You might hear, maybe I'll go. Perhaps, but keep this in mind. Don't be afraid of using might and may to express different levels of certainty. Okay, great. Let's go on to number 9 now. Number 9 is forgetting do and does in questions. So remember, we need to make questions in order to continue the conversation, right? To continue our communication. But one common thing that I see is learners forget this do and does. They forget these helping words. For example, instead of the correct sentence, what does she do? Sometimes I see what she do, something like this, what she do. It should be, what does she do? Or another example, where you work, where you work. Should be, where do you work? So don't forget these little tiny little things, but they're very, very important. I know they seem small and they kind of help the grammar of the sentence along, but it's very important to include them. So don't forget these when you're making your questions. You can find some tips and some information about this in the videos that we have available already. I've made some videos about these kinds of grammar points as well. So you can look for these kinds of grammar points in past videos, for example, about simple present tense, and you can also find them in videos about simple past tense. So check those out if you're looking for some more reference material and some practice points. Okay, let's go to the last one, number 10. Number 10 is a little bit more advanced, but it's a very, very common error. It's not moving the be verb in embedded questions, not moving the be verb in embedded questions. What does this mean? Let's look at an example sentence. Here's a very common error I see. Do you know what is the password? Do you know what is the password? The correct sentence, or question rather, should be, do you know what the password is? Do you know what the password is? These are examples, or this is an example of what's called an embedded question. An embedded question is a question inside another question. So here we see, do you know? That's the first question. And the second one, what is the password? So in these situations where we have one question inside another, we need to move the be verb, if we use one, to the end of the sentence. We cannot keep this grammar pattern here. So yes, if I want to ask you directly, what is the password? This sentence is perfect. However, when we use this grammar of a question inside another question, the be verb goes to the end of the question. Do you know what the password is? This is correct. Let's look at one more example. Here's the mistake. Does he know where are the kids? Does he know where are the kids? So again, does he know is our question. Where are the kids is the question inside it. We have a be verb here, are. To fix it, we move it to the end of the sentence. Does he know where the kids are? And then it's perfect. So I have some videos about embedded questions on our YouTube channel and in our video resources. So please have a look at those for more information on how to create embedded questions perfectly. All right, so these are 10 very common mistakes that English learners make. Of course, everybody makes mistakes, and there are many more common mistakes, but these are some of the ones that I see the most. So I hope that this video helps you to find some spots that you can work on and some spots that you maybe need to review. Of course, if there are other common mistakes that you make and that you want to try to think about how to fix, you can let us know about those in the comment section. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment about those things as well, and feel free to make some practice sentences there if you'd like to. If you enjoyed this lesson, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Also, check us out at EnglishClass101.com for some other things that can help you with your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this lesson, and I will see you again soon. Bye! Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and in this episode we're going to talk about 10 phrases you can use when going to the movies. Let's get started. Okay, before we start the video, a quick reminder that if you check the link below the video in the YouTube description box, you'll find a bunch of PDF cheat sheets that you can use to learn new vocabulary words and expressions relating to your hobbies, your leisure activities, the things that you like to do. So this video is, of course, about movie theater related expressions. This one's about food. You can find ones that are about music, listening to music, playing sports, and so on. So have a look at the link below the video in the YouTube description box, and you can find all of these and more for free. So have a look, and I hope that it is helpful for you. Okay, let's get on with the video. Okay, the first word is ticket. Ticket. So we use the word ticket to refer to the thing we buy to gain entry to the movie theater. We need to buy a ticket. This can be a physical ticket, a paper ticket, and we can also have a digital ticket, like when we make an online reservation. So you need to have a ticket to get into the movie. For example, how much for one ticket? Okay, let's move on to our next expression. Next is 1 for movie, please. 1 for movie, please. So this is a really quick and easy expression you can use to ask for one ticket to the movie of your choice. So in this pattern, you just replace the movie part with the movie you want to see. So when you say one, it means one ticket. You don't have to say one ticket. You can just make it shorter. When you go to the movie theater to ask for the ticket, if you just say one, they will know what you mean. For example, 1 for Titanic, please. This means one ticket for the movie Titanic. So the preposition here is for. 1 for movie, please. Of course, you can make it 2 or 3 for as well, too, depending on how many people are in your group. Okay, let's move on to our next expression. Next is, I would like to choose a seat. I would like to choose a seat. Okay, so sometimes when you make a reservation for your movie ticket, you can choose the seat that you want to sit in. So if you want to do this, you can say, I would like to choose a seat. Typically, we don't do this when we come to the movie theater. Typically, we don't do this when we arrive at the movie theater and we choose our seats there. We might find this option available on the internet. For example, I would like to choose a seat near the middle of the theater. The next expression is side by side. Side by side. So you can use this to talk about seats that are next to each other. So when you make a reservation for a ticket online, you can say, I want our seats to be side by side, which means we're going to sit next to each other. So you might describe your seats as side by side seats. For example, can we sit side by side? You might hear people say, can we sit next to each other as well? But this side-by-side expression means that you are sitting with your sides next to each other's sides. That's where this side-by-side comes from. Okay, let's move on to our next word. Next is popcorn. Popcorn. Popcorn is the classic movie theater treat. It's a classic snack that we have with movies. Popcorn is something you can buy in probably every movie theater in the USA. People typically have it with butter and salt, but you may find caramel popcorn or other kind of crazy flavors too. Popcorn is like the classic movie snack. So even if we're not at the movie theater, we often make popcorn to enjoy with our movie at home. So in a sentence, I'm going to buy some popcorn. Okay, let's move on to our next expression. Next is 3D glasses. 3D glasses. Okay, what are 3D glasses? So you know what glasses are, right? So the accessory we use to see. 3D glasses are special glasses that we use at movie theaters sometimes. So sometimes you go to the movie theater to see a movie in 3D, 3 dimensions. So it looks like the movie is happening in front of you, not just on a flat screen. We have glasses that we get from the movie theater that we use to see the movie correctly. So you might need to put on your 3D glasses at a certain point in time. In that case, you can say, we have to put on our 3D glasses. So 3D glasses are a very interesting part of recent movie-going experiences. Okay, let's move on to our next expression. Next is box office. Box office. So a box office is the place where you get your tickets at the theater. We use it for movie theaters. You might also see it used at like an opera house or like a live playhouse as well. The box office is the place where you get your tickets. It doesn't have anything to do with like an office of boxes or anything like that. It's just kind of the reception area or the ticketing area. We call this space the box office. For example, we need to pick up our tickets at the box office. Okay, our next expression is surround sound. Surround sound. So surround sound, maybe it's easy to guess the meaning of this expression. Surround sound is sound that surrounds a person. It's the sound that surrounds an audience. So when you go to see a movie in the movie theater, there are speakers all around the room. You are surrounded with sound. So surround sound is an important and exciting part of the movie-going experience. Of course, some people with lots of money can make surround sound systems in their homes. Here's an example sentence. I love the surround sound in movie theaters. Okay, let's go to our next expression. Next is subtitles. Subtitles. Subtitles are those words that appear on the bottom of the screen when you're watching a movie or when you're watching a TV show or maybe even when you're watching something on YouTube. Subtitles refers to a translation of the information that is being spoken on the screen. There's another thing that you might be familiar with, which are captions. Captions and subtitles are very similar. They're both words that appear at the bottom of the screen. Subtitles refers to a translation of the dialogue into the language you're reading. Captions is the same thing that's being said. So for example, if you're watching this video in English and you're reading the information at the bottom of the screen in English, you are reading captions of my words. If you're watching this video in English and you're reading the information in a different language, you're reading subtitles. This is the difference between subtitles and captions. So you may watch a movie in the theater with subtitles, but probably not captions. Okay, here's an example sentence. Does this film have subtitles? Okay, let's go on to our next expression. Next is trailer. Trailer. All right, a trailer is a preview of a movie. So this is kind of an interesting word. We often think of the trail of something as being behind something, but a trailer is like a preview for an upcoming movie, or it's the preview of a movie that is now available to watch in theaters. We call this the trailer. For example, I love watching the trailers before the movie. So when you arrive at the movie theater to watch your movie, before your main event, before watching the movie, you'll often see a lot of different trailers for other movies that are coming out very soon. So watching the trailers is another part of going to the movie theater. All right, great. That brings us to the end of 10 phrases for going to the movies. What did you think? You can let us know in the comments. And of course, let us know if there are other expressions that you like to use when you go to the movie theater. Also, don't forget to click the link in the description and get your free PDF cheat sheets to learn even more useful English words and phrases. You can download them to any device or print them out, and they're yours to keep forever, so you can click the link and get them for free now. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you again next time. Bye!
Hi everybody, welcome back to Know Your Verbs. My name is Alicia, and in this lesson, we're going to talk about the verb land. Let's get started. Let's start with the basic definition of the verb land. The basic definition is to arrive on the ground after traveling by air or by sea. Some examples. Our airplane landed safely. The boat will likely land in Chile. Now let's look at the conjugations for this verb. Present, land, lands. Past, landed. Past participle, landed. Progressive, landing. Okay, now let's talk about some additional meanings for this verb. The first additional meaning is to arrive on a website or web page. Some examples. I clicked the link and landed on a strange website. He keeps landing on error pages. So this use of the verb land is specific to the internet. So when we arrive on a web page or on a website, we can use the verb land. It's like we arrive at that place, we reach that place on the internet. So in the first example sentence, it's I clicked on a link and landed on a strange web page or a strange website. Here we see the past tense use of the verb. I landed, past tense, on a strange website. I arrived at a strange website. In the second example sentence, he keeps landing on error pages means he keeps arriving on error pages, or he keeps arriving at error pages. So in other words, for some reason, he's seeing a lot of error pages. When he clicks links or when he tries to use the internet, he lands or he arrives at an error page. So for the internet specifically, we can use land to mean arrive on a website. The next additional meaning is to acquire something greatly desired. Some examples. I landed my dream job. She landed a date with the guy she likes. So this use of land is used usually for something positive. We use it when we get something we really want. In the first example sentence, I landed my dream job, it means I got my dream job, but we use land to show that it's kind of significant to us. I got my dream job is okay, but to say I landed my dream job sounds like you made like a big achievement. There's something special about that thing you got. In those cases, we can use the verb land to really emphasize our excitement. In the second example sentence, she landed a date with the guy she likes. We see the same thing. She's really excited to get this date with this guy. So she really likes the guy. She got a date, but the verb got is changed to land here, or landed in past tense, because we're showing it's some kind of like special achievement. She landed a date with the guy she likes. Sounds more like a special thing than she got a date with the guy she likes. So when you want to express a special achievement or getting something that's really exciting to you, you can use land to talk about that. The next additional meaning is to come to a stop in a particular place. Some examples. I threw my bag across the room and it landed on the sofa. The fighter landed a punch on his opponent's face. So these two example sentences show us how land is used to mean something is coming to a stop somewhere. In the second example sentence, it's actually like a fist. So the expression, he landed a punch, means the punch arrived at someone's face or arrived on someone's face in this case. So you might hear this used for fighting, actually. This is a great example of how land is used for fighting. So we use land a punch or land a kick, which means you successfully touch or you successfully attack another person. So landed a punch on someone's face or landed a kick to someone's head, for example. We use these for fights, for physical fights. In the first example sentence, however, it's an object that's moving through the air. I threw my bag and it landed on my sofa. So you can think of this like it arrived on my sofa. It was moving through the air and it stopped on my sofa. That was the place where it finished its movement. We use landed to talk about that finishing move. So we see, two examples here. One is with physical fights, like body parts moving. The other is with an object that's moving through the air. So we can use this to talk about movement and stopping the movement. The next meaning is to succeed in communicating. Some examples. My points just aren't landing in these meetings. The comedian landed some great new jokes at her show. So this use of land is specific for communication. We use it when we are successful in communicating an idea. In the first example sentence, my points just aren't landing in these meetings. It means my points aren't being understood, or I'm not communicating effectively. I'm not explaining my points effectively, so I'm unable to communicate successfully in these meetings. So that's quite a long expression to use, all of those examples I just gave. So we use land. In this case, my points aren't landing in these meetings, meaning I'm just not able to communicate effectively in these meetings. In the second example sentence, we see it in a positive situation. The comedian landed some great new jokes at her show. So meaning she told the joke and the audience reacted favorably. The audience had a good reaction, so she can tell she was communicating effectively. Her joke was told, she told the story, she told the joke, the audience had a good reaction, the communication was successful. So in these cases, we can say she landed a joke. She landed something, meaning she communicated that idea successfully. Let's move along then to some variations in this verb. The first variation is to land someone in something. This means to cause someone to be in a negative state or a negative situation. Some examples. She forgot to pay a bill and landed her roommate in trouble. My classmates landed me in detention for disrupting class. So this is used, as you can see, in primarily negative situations. In the first example sentence, I forgot to pay a bill and landed my roommate in trouble. So this means by my actions, I forgot to pay a bill. Because of this action, I caused someone else, in this case my roommate, to be in a bad situation. So my roommate got in trouble because of my actions. So I landed my roommate in trouble is how we can explain that situation. So because of something I did or another person did, there's someone else that's affected by that in a negative way. We use land someone in something to describe that. In the second example sentence, my classmates landed me in detention for disrupting class. So through the actions of my classmates, I had to go to detention. So I can explain that relationship by saying my classmates landed me in detention for disrupting class. This sentence suggests that my classmates were doing something bad. I had some relationship to it, but maybe I wasn't really doing anything bad in class. However, their negative actions got me in detention, landed me in detention. Detention, by the way, is like waiting after school. You have to stay after school as punishment. You have to stay in the school. So detention is a bad thing for students. So I was landed in detention. That means somebody else did something to me and put me in a bad situation. So I hope that you found a new way to use the verb land. If you have any questions or comments or know a different way of using this verb, please let us know in the comment section of this video. Of course, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel if you have not already, and check us out at EnglishClass101.com for some other things that can help you in your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Know Your Verbs, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Access your free language gifts right now before they expire. First, the Romance and Love Conversation PDF Cheat Sheet. You'll learn all the must-know words and phrases for love and Valentine's Day with this bonus cheat sheet. Download it for free right now. Second, Talking About Your Daily Routine PDF Workbook. If you can't talk about your day yet, then this workbook is for you. You'll learn phrases for everyday routines, from talking about waking up and brushing your teeth, to dinner and going to sleep. Third, can you talk about your likes and dislikes? This 1-minute phrase lesson will teach you how to say, I like, I love, I don't like, and I hate. Access it now for free. Fourth, the 10 common phrases you'll need for a date. You'll learn how to say, are you free this weekend? Can I see you again? And much more, just in time for Valentine's Day. And fifth, want an app that teaches you the language through real conversations? Download Innovative Language Learning for free for the Android, iPhone, and iPad. You'll unlock bite-sized lessons that teach you basic everyday conversations between native speakers, and you'll start speaking in minutes. To get your gifts and language learning resources, click the link in the description below. Download them right now before they expire. Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the